attention tight.
Ooh, here we go. We're just gonna do a quick sound check. I'm still like a little bit new with the Twitch and everything, so I'm still working out the equipment. As I'm sure you work with me to. Here we go. We're just gonna do a quick sound check. My voice is good. Go ahead and just chat a little bit. I'm just gonna see how your sound is.
Yo, what's going on?
My voice is good. Go ahead.
We're in it.
You
Want me to keep talking? Baby. Oh,
perfect.
What's going on?
There we go. It's a little delayed on stream, so there we go. We're perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I can introduce the man himself, Kyle Lucey, and I feel bad because I keep friggin' messing it up where I'm only saying a comedian, but you're not just a comedian, my friend. You're not. I apologize for that. You are not just a comedian. You are an actor as well. Very talented gentleman. There's really, I don't even know how to much go into. You've been recognized on multiple different platforms. I can't even name them. I can name them off one by one. But here, let me let you introduce yourself to some of the people watching on my channel here.
Right on, man. My name is Kyle. Nice to meet anybody who's watching. I'm a stand-up comic. Pretty much in Toronto, but I'm all throughout Canada now after I signed the Yuks and went pro. But after this whole fucking pandemic, I'm international. I got my European visa and I'm working on my American visa. I went down to Texas to do some shit down there. Also an actor, done TV shows, commercials. And with this pandemic, started doing some martial arts. So.
Oh, really?
Doing Muay Thai now, yeah.
What? Same. I've been doing Muay Thai. I've been since I was little. I've been doing mixed martial arts, but I just found a new Muay Thai gym in the St. Catharines that is starting up when COVID allows it.
Yeah, buddy. I mean.
Yeah.
This whole shit is like ruined the comedy community. The
entertainment.
I've been
entertainment in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to I have a homie who's sort of he has this gym pretty much that I've been training this whole time, but I needed something an
outlet,
just a thing. Yeah. I have this obsessive Mamba energy sort of thing.
No, I'm not laughing at you. My boy, a boy in chat just put up Logan Paul versus Kyle Lucey 2022. What do you think?
I would lose. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's a very big boy. Yeah, but I just need to obsess over something. And live stand-up, I was doing 20 shows a week. Just, I became my work ethic. Very much so. So it's been hard not to have that. I've still been quite active, but I'm doing illegal shows and shit, secret shows. But only 4 shows a week? That used to be at night.
So
that shit in the night.
So you're out in sorry guys, he's out in the sticks right now. He's out in Toronto. Obviously they got a different underground scene than we got out here in Niagara, or I know my boy Rob's in Brantford, or I know the other person watches and is in Hamilton. Different. I'm sure Hamilton has their own thing going on. But for a comedian, now we've had you at Lux, and a lot of people love your material, as well as the gentleman you brought, Ezra. What is his official title? I apologize. I know his name's Ezra. I'm pretty sure. I just don't know his actual shout him up.
Ezra Shetu is his name.
Oh, okay. I mean, Insta tags and stuff. What is he for comedian-wise?
Oh, Ezra is the new black.
True, and yeah, I follow him on Insta too. Some of the stuff he posts on the crane, bro, it kills me, man. That shit kills me when he posts some of the shit he posts. Now, what really got you kind of started into into comedy? You know what I mean? What made you really? What was it like? Did you just were you out with some of your boys or something, and one of them was like, all right, here, go on, kind of last minute, or it was something that was planned, essentially, you wanted to give it a try?
Bro, I had a book when I was 5 years old called My Life as the Next Jim Carrey, and my first time doing stand-up, I was 12 years old.
What? Okay. That's a really young age.
I bombed, I ruined, I ate shit. So I was humiliated, I didn't do it again. And then at 15, I joined an improv team in grade 8. I don't even know how old I was in grade 8. Let's just say 13 or some shit. Then in grade 9, I joined the improv team. I went to like somewhat of a theater. It wasn't a theater school, but I had a good theater program. And then I feel like not everybody, but a lot of people, if you listen to yourself, you have a greatness. And, you know, I was never really good at math. I can't take a car engine apart. There's a lot of stuff I can't do, but
sorry,
my school...
That line,
you know
essentially,
what I mean?
I've heard you say one of your skits before. I'm not really good at math, and so I was just watching it earlier today when I was going through some of your content, so it kind of cracked. I'm not laughing at you, I'm just laughing at a flashback of watching your content. Sorry, continue. My apologies to cut you off.
No, but like, there's just like, you know what I mean? You know but then like, my school was like, I never had to audition for a school play. My school would write the plays and just, Kyle's going to be the lead. Kyle, I was teaching improv. Yeah, I was teaching improv to adults in grade 9. I was the lead in my play. I had a play in high school where it was just me. They only casted, I was the only actor on stage, and it was more of like a monologue. Like the school play was just me. So like, I had my own show at Yuks when I was 16. I won the Durham Region Comedy Festival at 16. I opened for the Trailer Park Boys at 16. I was like...
Put some respect in it, bro. Talk your shit. Let them know. Let them know who you are.
Well, no, it wasn't just that. It was just like, at that age, it was like, what are you going to do with your life? You're going to go to, what are you going to take in university? And so I had a decision to make where it was like a semester left in university. And
how old are you now at university? Sorry, at university at this time.
Oh my God, it's around 20 years old. 20? Okay. And I was taking criminology. I was like going to be a lawyer. I like wanted to do that. But then a TV show casted me in Toronto, and a comedy club called the Corner Comedy Club opened up. And said, we're going to book you.
I'm familiar with that. It rings some bells in my ears. I'm not like a huge... Sorry, go ahead.
Corner was like a real badass like underground comedy club that grew into something pretty cool. And I was there right at the beginning of it. But then I got signed to Yuks, and now I'm sort of growing outside of Canada. But Corner was like a real renegade type of comedy club. And so they said, we're going to book you 7 nights a week. I got booked at a TV show that put $4,000. You know what I mean? I got booked for a TV show, $4,000 in my pocket. And then I landed a job in Toronto. And that was when I'm 20 years old. So it's like, I have that decision where I either stay in school or do what I wanted to do since I was 5 years old, my first set being 12, which is you film a TV show, you have rent paid for like half the year, you landed a job in a comedy club every single night. Like, that dude, don't fuck that up. And so I dropped out of school with a semester left. I just dropped out and started following my passion in this, and I performed with the best in the country, and have, like, I know that I'm really good at this. Like, at live stand-up comedy, I'm really fucking good at it. So it's one of those things where it was sort of a gamble, right? But because you want to be safe, right? Like, what the hell am I gonna do with that? But like, I have a better shot at living a comfortable life doing stand-up comedy than if I were to stay in school, and because that I wouldn't have had the fire, I wouldn't have worked extra hours for it as I would with this, because I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like it's not even work. Sorry, just checking on the chat here.
Yeah.
So will be on commentary. I mean, sorry. That was just some nonsense about the 2022. We'll get you against Logan Paul. Don't worry. We'll get you there soon. But sorry, I was just taking some notes there. The one thing I was gonna say was that it's kind of like this is a big thing as well. Why I wanted to reach out and kind of bring you on the channel is because I've had people on here that are like bands. There's some artists that have built their own brand. I don't know if you're familiar with the man Robbie G. He's a Canadian artist that has created his own brand and created his own is established himself as an artist. You know what I mean? As well as a rock band in local Niagara. They have a theme song for the Niagara River, Ice Dogs. You know, all people are really building their own stuff. Mainly, I wanted to reach out as well too because I'm happy we kind of got it. Like you touched on it right away. Is I've been noticing a lot of similarities between a lot of like all these creative people. Is like right there. Everyone really has that moment, even including myself. I can relate to where it's like either whether it's school or say a full-time job, and they kind of flip it and go to where they get into that moment of life where they're like, is this really what they have this going for them? And say for me it was events. So like in college, I dropped out of college because I got to a point where I was like, okay, my events are going and I'm making a revenue, and this is really what I want to do. But school is, it was during the strike year in Canada. So it was almost like a given. Just all right, screw it, let's go. And then now now I am where I am today, where I've had you at my own venue now. Instead of doing events at other venues. And what I was also gonna say is it's almost like, when you do what you love, like they say it's not work, but like it's almost it. To me, it kind of gets me sometimes because I'll be sitting there feeling like, oh man, I haven't done anything today, and then I think about it, I'm like, wait. It feels like I haven't done anything because I love what I'm doing, and everything I've done is just I'm just doing what I'm doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, a guy like you, right, or anyone who has found their passion, that's exactly it. Because you ever get the people that are like, yeah, well, like, okay, but how much do you make an hour? And when you spread that, and they try to make it sound like, and you're like, but I'm my own boss. I make my own schedule. I'm not. When I love what I'm doing, I'm not counting the hours. This is all play. What a thing is it? My father hated his job. He drove for the TTC. He was a real estate agent too, and he was making good money because he had 2 incomes. But he hated it. He fucking hated it. And I've seen what a miserable, he was not a miserable man, but the jobs made him a miserable man. I would define him as a miserable man.
But not in in the core of it, in the sense of it, like when it comes down to just from what is work, right? You know what I mean? Like the way you live.
It was a cancer. It changed who he truly was. Oh. He was a truly miserable man. TTC drivers are abused. They're spat on. Whatever. This guy was just thinking benefits, dental, and he's just putting up with abuse. By homeless people.
A lot, like in that generation too, it was a lot of that workforce where a lot of people, like especially, how we grew up in the time frame. I'm not. How old are you, Kyle?
I'm 26.
So you grew up in the time frame as well too. Like anybody below 30, I think, grew up in the time frame where your parents are like, get a college degree, do this. This is they screwed it in your head. But then like at that generation, it was more so like if they didn't have a college degree, they had to. I found even my mom, all she really cared about was benefits because that shit really like alongside with the money, take care of your family. That stuff was very vital, even to this day. It's still vital, but there was an OHIP back in the day. You know what I mean? Now, so with comedy side, we had a question here in the chat. My boy threw it up. I just wasn't as I'm looking off. I am listening. I'm just trying to make sure I comment on the chat too, just so you don't think I'm ignoring you. But my boy Bat Rob 94. Do you remember any of besides Jim Carrey? Because you said was that who wrote that book?
I literally had a diary when I was 5 years old, where I would what it would be like being the next Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were saying it was a book. It was just,
okay. No, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna be the funny guy. I wanted to be the funny guy since I was 3 years old.
My boy Bad Hair Gaming said, hype, what's up? Hey, shout out to Bad Hair Gaming there. But my boy Bat Rob said, do you remember any of a specific set you bombed that really shaped you into the comic you are today?
Yeah, a few. And usually, every comic will tell you, those are the ones who you really... Actually, yes and no. I've had kills that have definitely made me go, okay, I'm going in the right direction, but the bombs are what really... Because, you know what I mean? I had one where... The one that comes to mind first is... I think I showcased for Yuks a while ago.
Yep.
And Mark Breslin, who's sort of like he's the founder of all the Yuks. He's the visionary behind what it is to be Yuks, right?
Yeah.
And so he's got like decades and decades of experience. And he said one thing that destroyed me and rebuilt me in like a nanosecond. And it fucked with me in the most beautiful way, and it changed how I did stand-up, which was, I was afraid of myself. You've seen my material. My material is fucked.
It's so like but it's
fucked.
funny. It's fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I thought I would go to jail. It was always inside me, but I was like, I can't say that. I can't say that shit. Until it wasn't. So he pretty much took me aside after a showcase and said, funny stuff, but do it. I would like pussy out on punchlines. So because I was afraid to actually, and he's like, bro, I'm paraphrasing. Mark Breslin thought like, yo, bro. But he pretty much was like, do you, and if it doesn't work, take the hit. But you'll be able. I remember him say, take the hit. Be more comfortable being who the fuck you are, because there is that thing about what I do where sometimes, like even Patrice, for instance, would be the bad guy, but you'd love him for it. You know what I mean? And so I sort of have that thing where it's like, I'm saying the shit that like, it's horribly funny, you know? And so I was so afraid to do it, but his advice gave me, when it comes from a guy like Mark Breslin, I saw that as a permission slip to do what I've always wanted to do, but I was too afraid to do. So when a guy like him says, do it, I was like, fuck yes. And so from there, I was like constantly bombing on stage, ruining shows. But I was getting more comfortable with me.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, there was no fake energy. Before we go up with a lot of fake energy. Like I'd be very happy and smiley and like, but you could tell the dragon was underneath, right? But
I like that reference.
He's the one. Yeah, he destroyed the fake energy in me in that 1 second. And my more authentic self was hard to build up. It took maybe 2 years to build it up. But then for the flip side, then what started coming out of me was like something quite incredible. Like I was bigger than myself in a way where like I was about to go up on stage and I'm like, I'm saying all of this like illegal things to say, but they'll love me for it. And I would go up on stage, and the sound of the volume of the laughs that I would get, I was like, I can't believe I'm killing on such a high level. And that was because of what Mark Breslin told me.
True.
And it just destroyed my fear. And anytime I have a bad set now, it's because I was thinking in fear. I was afraid. And there's nothing. When you're operating in like in the territory that I'm operating in, you must be bold. Hesitancy is cancer. Like if I'm talking about something that's contentious, like let's say, like I have a joke saying like, oh, I'm not everybody's favorite comic. I had a lady throw a beer at my head on stage a week ago. That being said, she was a black girl with dreads, and I called her Predator. So what do you? And so that gets a huge pop because it's so fucking like ruthless.
Yeah.
But if I pulled my punches a bit on that, I was just like, oh, there was a black girl at a show, and I said you're fucking black. That actually sounds way worse, even though it's not as worse. Does that make sense?
Chat's going off right now. My one boy, Bad Hair Gaming, he's black. He's like incredible, absolutely incredible, bro.
Well, you have to be a savage because then it's like, oh, this guy's just a savage. This guy, and I make fun of myself.
I make fun of everybody. You know what I mean? And like, I have a joke saying, like, I've got a girlfriend. We have cute nicknames for each other.
Oh.
I like to call her the alarm clock because all I ever hear out of her is,
You did that with a look.
Snooze! And like, if I hesitate at all, I'm done. You know what I mean? So I have to be that taking the hit is to be that ruthless, fearless dragon that has always been in me. But as a boy, I started, very young at 12, or really I started taking it seriously at 16, and then super seriously at 20. Like 16, I was doing 4 shows a week. Yep. At 20 years old, I was doing 20 shows a week every week. I did 5,000 shows in 5 years, from 20 to 25. I don't even count what I did before that, and I was still an active comedian. So,
well, here I want to get into the festivals, and I actually want to touch on Blood and Fury and Motives and Murders. Actually, I want to touch on that after. But just a props from the chat. The chat's loving you right now. My one boy Bad Hair Gaming's like, if you ever seen a crazy black girl with dreads out in the club, Predator is insanely accurate. And my other boy Rob says, I'm stealing that for my alarm clock. Oh man! Did you not do that?
It's so funny.
Did you do the alarm clock at Lux? I think we actually have footage of it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that one killed me. I was behind the bar and it died when that happened. But no, on festivals alone, like you were saying, you took it more seriously. So at 16, you were saying you won your was it the Durham at 16?
Yeah, I won that at 16, and honestly, like, if I'm gonna be real, like, there's only like 5 or 6 festivals that really matter in the world of stand-up, to be honest with you. Like, I'm going to pat myself over the back the day I booked Just for Laughs. Anything other than that is not really that big of a deal. That's me 10 years into comedy, national headlining comic, now international. But when you're 16 years of age and you win funniest in town, it's just, if anything, it was just big back then. But yeah, it was still a pretty big deal.
Big locally, but not so essentially career-wise what you want to accomplish. Now
it's still good, but it's just. I don't even mean to sound anything, but it's
you have your own standards of things. You know what I mean? You're trying to reach a certain place, and to where you're trying to reach, that really isn't exactly how big some people make it out to be.
It was a defining moment. Like, you ever watch 8 Mile when he wins the rap at the end? Okay, fucking Eminem.
Yeah, like
that one little rap thing he did is fucking nothing compared to his career.
I loved how they ended it.
Defining moment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, defining moment. Defining moment.
Any other movie that like a hip hop artist say like Get Rich or Die Trying? Oh man, I gotta get rid of these bots in my chat. But Get Rich or Die Trying, any other hip hop movie that like has an artist about it, or is based off an artist, or even just like a movie magic version of it. You know what I mean? They always go from start to like right before they got signed to like getting signed and getting famous. But like Eminem's was like, it was real, it was raw, and right at that defining moment, you know, it wasn't him getting signed, it's him going to put more work in. You know what I mean? It wasn't no big happy ending. He just lost his girl. He had to fucking take his clothes out of the trash, and he had to leave. And you know what I mean? Sorry, I was just gonna say with the festivals though. Now, obviously, career-wise, it wasn't to. No, sorry. I'm not even trying to say it in that way because I'm trying to stay off the negative there version of it. But so, career-wise, it wasn't what you're trying to achieve. You know, essentially, is a defining moment. It's obviously for everyone locally. But like pay-wise, those festivals, for sake, anybody trying to look at comedy, you know what I mean? Those festivals sort of like, are they something that really start-wise with to get a start on to really churn revenue from your talent?
No.
You know what I mean?
No. The festival, I don't even think I got paid.
Really?
To be honest with you. It's, I don't remember. If anything, it was under $100 maybe once. That's why it's like, it is what it is. But what is it? It's great on a visa, right? It's a drop in the bucket on a visa.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone.
That's not gonna get me to America, but that along with like 90 other things that I've done.
The reference.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket on a visa, and there's things that aren't even a drop on the bucket on a visa. So a drop on the bucket on a visa is like it's relevant. It gave me the confidence to keep going. It made me think that I had something going, because now first I was like really good in my high school. Like they literally didn't even, they held auditions for school plays, but Kyle gets the lead.
Yeah, you don't even need to try out. You're just there.
Yeah, and like literally I'd host the talent shows. I would get like standing ovations in my talent shows for when I did stand up in a talent show. I'd go back to my class and my whole class just stood up and clapped. And that, I went to like a Jamaican high school. Like they didn't do that. So that's when I was like, what the, this is, I'm bigger than myself. And then when I did it in my town, funniest guy, and Durham region is like 8 towns, right? It's like Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa. Now, funniest guy there, opening for the Trailer Park Boys, I did a big theater, Regent Theater I got to do as well.
I was just going to ask what
like,
theater.
Oh, Regent Theater.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, okay, maybe it's not just local talent show. Now it's like this. And then Toronto, I go to Toronto, and it took me like 5 years to get like to be in the top of Toronto. And now I got signed to Yuks, and now I'm going to be going to Europe and America, and now the world. No, but like now it's like I'm trying to like, let's see what else I can do. And now that the attitude is just, let's just do my best. Let's just do my best. I'm not trying to be, when you say I'm the best or whatever, when I say that, I mean I'm the best version of myself, my potential. Because even when you're like, oh, I'm better than you, let's say this guy is like this good, now you're just like a little bit better than that guy. But when you're the best version of yourself, you could be a million leagues better than anybody because your potential isn't ranked with the, you know what I'm saying?
Completely.
Yeah.
This is something else I wanted to. I'm actually just going to have a refill. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw you on view so you're larger. And then speak on some of the content you got going on for people watching while I just grab a refill. Your YouTube, Insta, what you got going on. Mason Poo Poo Face. Speak on Mason Poo Poo Face before I start to ask about him.
So yeah, basically, with this whole pandemic thing, you sort of have to modernize what you're doing. So I started a podcast, just the Kyle Lucey Show. I do an episode every week. It's on all platforms, all streaming platforms like Spotify and all the other ones. Also, there's a video podcast on YouTube. I do a sketch every week, and they're fucking crazy. Like I go up to people on the street dressed as a girl, like, can I have some sushi? And like just like people like don't know how to handle it. They almost punch me in the face. My sketches are really where I get to like be a character, and like I guess if you could like define my sketches, it's like Jackass meets Eric Andre show meets Borat. Like it's a lot of like getting people's reactions, and I'm a huge fucking troll, so I'm trolling people and stuff like that. My Instagram is Kyle Lucey Comedy. I usually post like 5 times a day. I got to like 10,000 followers on TikTok, and then my page got banned. TikTok is very like strict, and you know, I'm a rough around the edges type of guy. I'm not really a clean cut guy, so Communist China app. But anyway, yeah. So it's just that stuff.
I had to plug it in, bro. I had to plug it in, which made me actually. Before I get into Blood and Fury or Motives and Murders, they don't know what that is, but we'll explain it to them. But the skits, man. Okay, you guys have to go follow this guy on Instagram. That's so. I'll be sitting there, and I'll just go on Instagram for like business reasons. I try to stay off Facebook and Instagram at most, because I'll always get trapped in that wormhole. I'll always end up being there for 20 minutes and be like, oh yeah, and I always get trapped in that wormhole. I'm bad, so I'll always go, and then I'll hop on Instagram. One of the first things I see is one of the last ones I saw was you guys gotta check out his video for Mason Poo Poo Face. It was just really funny. He's not that good at math, but he's a good guy.
Mason Poo Poo Face is like I have this character that's like a self-defense guru, but his eyes are all fucked up from like multiple concussions. Like I was just making fun of like you ever see all these people who just like learn UFC techniques, and they're not good. Like they're like sort of, it's all a scam pretty much. So I wanted to call him like Master Poo Poo Face. So it's like but I call it Mason Poo Poo Face because I actually know I'm sort of in like the fighting community, and I didn't want to piss off a few people that I know that actually call themselves Master because they would kick the shit out of me. So anyway, it's just sort of a troll of that whole thing, and yeah, then you know what? That one wasn't even one. It's crazy. Like when you put out so much, right? I have my favorite sketches. That one wasn't even my favorite, but I still found it very funny. But it's crazy. A lot of people like it, right? I'm trying to do not something for everybody, but I don't want to. I want to be like every human being has multiple sides to them, right?
Mm.
So I want to make sure that I'm getting the full picture. Like I guess you could say there's like an offensive comic to me, like an X-rated comic, but I also have an equally large, super silly side. And that sketch was like my more sillier side. Because I had people comment on it, like who like my more renegade shit, like talk more about the fucking liberals. I'm like, okay, well, you know what I mean? I don't want to be pigeonholed into a style.
Man, that's smart to do as well. Like personally, like I want to speak on a couple of things real quick before we go into the acting. Then I think it's the third time I was saying. Then I'm gonna start getting into it. But just even as an artist, like a local artist, I've been able to relate in a lot of ways. Like say, you know, and there's a lot of different showcases for artists in different cities that I find is a really big money grab for companies. They try to give this fake plaque to artists or say even people of talent. It happens in a lot of entertainment industry where they create this big local thing, but in the end of it, they really don't do anything but give them like a name. Do you know what I mean? They're not really doing anything for their career. Like they're really just, it's like a local talent show in a sense. You know what I mean? Which I've actually done local talent shows, but essentially like we've tried to build with the winners and stuff and build with the artists who don't win. But there's so many. Main reason as well too why I wanted to bring you on as well, not just comedy but acting as well too. There's so many things in the entertainment industry that a lot of people don't really take into consideration when it comes down to say performing or like how he asked, is there how my friend Bat asked, is there really a set that you bombed that really was defining for you? I wanted to ask there as well too, was there really a set in comedy where, you know what I mean, it was a good set, but you did it, and after it you sat there and you're like, you know, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like this is going to be a part of my life for the rest of it. Like do you have a set specifically where you killed it and you know what I mean, you just had that feeling where inside you're like, you know what, this is going to be me for the rest of my life. This is what I'm doing. There's no taking it away.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I want to do this for the rest of my life was when it wasn't really based off of a set, but it was like, this is when I learned the true definition of a decision. Like incision is Latin for to cut, right? Mm. In one. Decision is to cut in half. Two, to kill one and choose the other. So there's not a true decision. It's not, oh, well, I'll do this and I'll sort of do that. You're half-assing both. So I was in school. I had a girlfriend in Oshawa. I broke up with her. I dropped out of school. I made a decision. I cut it in half. I killed one, and I chose this. That's when I said, I am fucking doing this. I'm fucking doing this. And my old, the guy who was running the Corner Comedy Club said, if you can't fucking move from Pickering, Ontario to Toronto, Ontario, you're not ever going to make the move to America, and you're never going to be a star. He told me that.
And that's like, amen though, like, amen
wow.
though. Really though, like, if you have an opportunity, like, I know artists that if they had a paid opportunity in Toronto, you know what I mean, they'd say, you know, all right, bye mom, peace. Like, or, you know what I mean, like, a lot of people, I know a lot of local artists that still live with their mom. I'm not one of them, but, you know what I'm saying, like, it's a hard world out there. And it speaks for itself. Look at where you're at now. You know what I mean? How many accolades have you collected throughout the time frame since moving from Pickering?
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly done a lot, but I mean, it's one of those things where at this point, man, I'm on this next spiritual journey. Like, I am not my body, I am not my mind, brother. I am my fucking soul.
I feel that. I feel that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things
I am
you've been,
eternal energy,
a
bro.
lot of things you've been speaking on as well lately, like just even my career path essentially with what I'm doing with music, business wise. There's a lot of other things I'm doing as well. The events company I spoke to you about before. We're trying to turn the events company into a non-for-profit. There's a lot of things
Nice.
we're doing. But you know what I mean. I've even just come to this like a lot of the ways you're describing things I can relate with a lot of ways. Even just that in a sense where my body and mind is just it's there, but it's not. But it's like I'm on this spiritual like just I just want to be whole. You know what I mean? I just want to be
Yeah.
the best me I can be. You know, in a sense. Now let's finally get into it. Now, so enough of the comedy stuff. You're a real funny guy. Crack the jokes as much as you want because chat was going off and they were killing that shit, and it always makes funny. Before I go off as well too, I don't want to say you remind me of this comedian because as an artist I hate when people say I remind them of someone because I like to be my own.
It happens though.
But your not your style of comedy, but the way you approach comedy, with how you know I mean you're very rugged and cut edge. Like you say the shit that you know might is illegal or might be offensive, but it's very funny. It reminds me of, I know you're probably gonna hate it, of Andrew Scholes. Because you know, I mean, he says a lot of shit where you know, and you guys are two completely different comedians, completely different styles, completely different ways, and everything. But you know, I mean, on that aspect alone, of you guys aren't afraid to say that shit that everyone else is afraid to say. You know what I mean? That on that aspect alone, and you know, honestly, I feel like it's. You know, as far as he's pushed himself, you know what I mean? You're on a level that could even push farther in your own aspect, on your own path.
Well, everybody's gonna have like. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Schultz is like one of the. I mean.
My last name is Schultz, except for I got a T. He doesn't.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you look at like who won COVID. Ding, ding, ding. Actually, I have a homie of mine doing a movie with him right now. But yeah, so.
Sorry, say again. Who is it?
I have a homie. I don't even really want to say.
No, not your homie. The person. Sorry, I thought you said a different name. I thought you said Kobe. I was like, what?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what I should say is like, comedians aim for the truth, and we live in a world where there's insects that, you know, when they're hatched, they plant larvae into a bee's skull. And creates a zombie of the bee, and a fucking alien embryo bursts out of the bee's chest cavity, where like zebras are cornered by lions and eaten alive. Nature is.
Bro,
really
I love your
brutal.
references. Like the references you're doing in the analogies are crazy. Like it's you know it's not outlandish, but it's so realistic.
That's the world we live in. You go into space, your skull will decompress and explode. Like. We live on a harsh alien planet. We think that we're not aliens, but we're, you know, like, to the next planet we are. We're fucked. Like, things are crazy. Nature is brutal, and somehow, as humans, we want to pretend that we're all sipping tea and puppets, and we'll behave. It's like, dude, watch a nature documentary, like an ant. You ever see a tarantula just 100 ants, just the slow fucking like it just disintegrates. We live in a crazy planet, and so you have to be fucking so selective and leaving out all the bad to think that people don't know how to hold bad and good as one. I do. I am light and dark, so I'm not one or the other. But there's a lot of people that go like, oh no, you just gotta be dark, you just gotta be badass, you deny the light. And there's people that are just like, I don't want to hear anything that's offensive. It's like, you deny the dark. There's a duality of life. And they're both. Both exist. And if both exist, I think a good comedian is a truth teller, and they must be a mirror to reality. And reality is all sorts of things. Reality isn't what you would hope that it would be. Sometimes reality is things that you don't like. And it's our job to talk about it.
Sorry, I was just about to say, but someone commented on the chat. They said how profound. My boy from Hamilton. Like I was just gonna say, this chat just went for. This is going deeper than I thought, bro. Our conversations with God. I thought it just like this is going very deep. Damn, bro, it's very profound, my friend. You know what I mean? That's very actually crazy. You made it. you know, I mean, shit, my head's just turning. My head's just turning like, damn, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
That's very profound, my friend. Now, before we even go even deeper here, let's get into more accolades by yourself here. Blood and Fury. Speak on Blood and Fury for the folks here.
That was actually the acting role that I booked that got me into Toronto. That was that. So it's Blood and Fury, America's Civil War was like a docu-series about the Civil War. There was like 6 different battles. My episode was the Battle of Nashville. As far as an acting experience goes, that's been one of the better acting experiences because they give you for like a bigger role, they'll give you like a dialects coach. Like they'll teach you how to handle firearms. You get paid extra because there's explosives on set. So you have to like learn how to do stunt work and stuff like that. So I literally like, it was pretty cool like working with a dialect coach. Looking back, I didn't really do that good of a job because I was sort of a young, stupid kid, and the call time was like 6 a.m. I had to be up at 5 a.m. I didn't have like the main lead role, but I was the main villain of my episode. So I was a principal role. I wasn't a supporting role. I was a principal role.
Yeah.
But I was doing stand up every fucking night while I was shooting. So I was showing up to set with 2 hours sleep. And just like I could have done looking back, I realized when you're gonna do something that's big,
do it properly.
I have to learn how to think bigger. Think bigger.
Okay.
You know.
True. Yeah. Way better way to put it. Yeah. Think bigger.
It would have been better if I didn't do stand up all those nights and showed up my full self. Been more
100%.
100%. I was showing up 60%, and there was things that it ended up being fine, but I want to put out, especially when something's being recorded. You know what I mean? It's not like a stand-up set where like, oh, okay, I'm never going to be in Guelph again for a while. It's like, no, it's still fine, but like looking back, you know, I learned from that. It was still an amazing experience I had on set. It was a really cool, a super cool experience, and I got to work with a lot of amazing actors. So that was pretty cool. That was like,
question. Sorry.
pretty awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Question in chat. How does one get the energy for the amount of work? Damn, if I may, I'm gonna take this one just because I'm gonna relate that situation. It was not as crazy as performing every night, but I remember I was working a full-time job and I was taking overtime and as well still making a fall festival happen within 3 months. I was barely sleeping from stress and all that shit. The one thing that how does one get that energy, and I think he might agree with me, is passion, pure passion. It will drive you through every obstacle you need, my friend. Is passion, Barbarian. Every time, like, if you have that fire, like, that fire won't go out. You won't need to sleep, you won't need to do anything, but it will catch up with you, and you'll attest to that probably as well. It will catch up to you as strong as, you know, that passion burns, and as far as it'll push you, if you don't take time to rest, it's gonna catch up. It's gonna take that day where you just, whoo. I've had days where I just, you know, it went on for like a week or two. I was just like, man, I'm burnt. I need to just pull out and relax and just chill. Now, motives and murderers. Motives and murderers, correct?
Yeah, it was right the first time. Motives and murders.
Murders? Oh, my apologies. I wrote it murderers. I'm retarded. But motives and murders. Sorry. So how about this one? Was this one of more of a better experiences? Were you more 100% or is it more of a bad?
I've always had an amazing experience on set. I mean, I remember watching or listening to the Matthew McConaughey audiobook that he just released. There was a thing where, I mean, fucking Matthew McConaughey, I like that he did this because it made me feel less bad. But like he was like, oh, so he did Dazed and Confused, that amazing movie, and literally, you don't have to hide your smoke, blow that shit out. I'm like,
it's a
okay,
vape, bro.
now I can smoke.
It's a vape.
Now
You can smoke. I'm not allowed to smoke in my building. It's a vape.
No, but like Matthew McConaughey did Dazed and Confused and completely just showed up unprepared. He only had one line, and he ended up being in for half the movie or something like that. And so he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like
Really?
not be prepared." He's like, but then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna." yeah, but then he's like, I'm just not going to be prepared. That's the key to being a good actor. And so he got booked for this other role, didn't read the script, showed up unprepared, and then when they're like, do you want to look over the script before we shoot? He goes, yeah, sure, why not? He looks at the script. He had like a 7-minute monologue in Spanish. And he didn't even know what the... You know what I'm saying? So he fucking ate shit on a set. So I've never had like a thing where I've like ruined everything, but I've had moments where I just wasn't in the zone.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine. It was fine. It was usable footage. But I'm not... To me, I didn't leave the life of tradition. Because I left the life of tradition. I left school. I threw a lot. I sacrificed a lot. And I didn't do that to put out mediocrity. And so when... And I'm not... Sometimes I fail. And when I do, it hits me hard because I've given up. There's been so many relationships I'm in where they say, holy shit, you actually do this every night. You're actually booked every fucking... And they're like, you're not going to be there for me. And so it's a very lonely road. And so I've given up a lot. And when I'm not my best and I don't put out my best, it's like, what are all those breakups? What are all those
sacrifices
times where I didn't have money?
Sacrifices is probably a better way to put it.
Yeah, I sacrificed so much to put out this garbage. No, that's not going to happen. That's actually not going to happen. So I give my that fuels me. And sometimes failure happens. I mean,
it's a part of life. It's a part of life. I find it's a real mindset. There are a lot of people, established people who say, I never lose. And the reason I find, or what I discovered, is the reason they say they never lose is because even when they take a loss, they're still taking every lesson they can from that loss, and they're winning in their own mind. So in their mind, it's still not a loss. What I was going to say as well, just touching back on the passion of just what really drives you, there's a lot of, Barbarian, if you're still listening up, I see you there in the chat lurking, is that passion can drive you so hard and so much. But what a lot of people, this is what I'm really going through in my life right now too, is I'm sure as yourself you probably have a lot of suitors, a lot of women that might be interested in a man of your lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? And and I'm in this position where I'm coming to the realization where it's just like, not a lot of people can really handle what I'm trying to drive through with my life. Just like I have a passion, just like you have a passion for what you're doing, I have a passion for what I'm doing. And I'm just like what you said, is they like it and then they realize, oh shit, you're doing this every night. This is what you really do. Like, this is something like you're not gonna be there. And like, it's a really hard thing to realize for a lot of people who want to be passionate and want to chase their dream, because it is a lonely road. You have to sacrifice a lot. And it's something that even a lot of people don't really comprehend, or even everyone's quick to congratulate you, but they really don't see the road that you really took to get there.
I mean, yeah, like every girl wants to date a doctor or a lawyer, but then when that guy has an 80-hour work week and never sees them, they're like, well, I just wanted a guy who's smart and has money.
Good question, Chad.
Continue. And wears a suit.
Good, continue. But I got a really good question after in chat. Continue. But you're absolutely right as well. You're absolutely right. How girls are always like, girls are always quick to say I want this, but they don't really realize it. Women will say, I think I need this in my life, and will figure out if it's right for them. Do you know what I mean?
Guys do it too. They're like, I want to date the hot bartender, and then it's like
guys, not men.
Just wanna
girls, women, guys, boys,
sure.
Men. You know what I mean? At some point, boys become men and they mature. I'm sure you have as well in your own way, but you're still working through maturity. You know what I mean? Or working through what you want. You know what I mean? I am. Personally, I am. I don't know when it comes through to that. It's just I'm still working through it, man. That's why it is how it goes. That's how I define it. Is the difference between girls and women. Girls are women who haven't matured, and boys are men who haven't matured. In a way. Good question in chat though. It's actually for both of us. I'll let you hit up with the first answer. But from my boy Barbarian, he actually has barbarian hair too. It's crazy. It's nice. Dope. Do you guys ever have trouble learning from your failures? How do you get over those potential humps? a good question.
How do I get over failure? Louis C.K. said this. Like, a failure to me now, I don't like. As far as it depends on what you define as failure.
Like I was saying, is if even a loss can be a lesson, so they view it as a win, really.
Yeah. Well, like in stand-up, like a failure to me, I still like did really well, but I didn't have the best set of the entire show. I take that as a failure. I want to be the best on the show. I want to make sure.
No, that's your standard, though. That's your personal standard, yeah.
But that's literally I write in my phone before I go up on stage. And this is like, I don't know if this is from a good place in my heart, but I write in my phone before I go up on stage to make everyone else on the show feel bad that they're even on the same show as me.
That's competitiveness, though. That's like the competitiveness in you, though. Like it gets you in that zone, right? You know what I mean? It gets you in that zone.
Yeah, like, and so if I'm not multiple tiers above, if someone had a better set to me, even if I did very well, that's a failure to me. So, but so stuff like that, like I'll really be motivated. So the next day, I'm just up super early. I meditate immediately in the morning, so I'm my most efficient self. I make sure getting up early, like going to Muay Thai, working out, taking my clients. It's noon. I just made money. I just did some training. I'm early. I read a book. I've meditated. These guys are just getting up, and I'm fucking lightning right now.
You're kicking today's ass.
Well, David Goggins writes a lot about giving yourself a mental edge by getting up early and having a morning routine. And my morning I usually do it every day, but when you do it with the intent on making sure you're untouchable in your field, that's a pretty powerful thing.
Tupac. I guess you're gonna hit me with a lot of references of other people as well. I'm gonna hit you with I read too, actually, believe it or not. I know I sound like a street kid, but I read too. One of my favorite writers is Robert Greene. 48 Laws of Power. I'm just finishing Mastery right now, and then I'm working on the Human Laws of Nature, the second book he just came out with this past year. It's the sequel to 48 Laws of Power. But Tupac said it, I think, for artists, essentially, it really relates to him a lot. But I relate everything in every type of form, just like how I want to have every aspect from comedy to music, from hip-hop to rap to business, just on my channel as well. But Tupac said it the best as well. One of his quotes always rings in my head is he would always get up as early as he can because, I'm a strong believer in it as well too, but there's just energy in the world and everyone could tap into that energy, and so he would get up as much as he can, as early as he can, do his routine so he'd be as sharp as he can, and then try tapping into that. So if his initial thought was if he's awake before everyone, he's catching the first thoughts of those energy. You know that feeling when, people could probably relate with it the most. Sorry, Barbarian, I'll get to that comment in a second. I just want to finish this point. But you know that feeling when you think of something like, oh, this would be a good business idea, and then 2 months later, or even a day later, you hear it on the radio like someone's got that. You know what I mean? It's that sense of tapping into that energy. And so Tupac's point with it was to get up as early as he can every day, to start to write as much as he can so he could tap into that energy before everyone else. And even sort of essentially just like a morning routine when you're at your sharpness. And are you a fan of Robert Greene?
Yeah, I didn't read all of it, but 48 Laws of Power I've read like
Mastery is what I'm finishing right now, and it really touches on just the whole process of creativeness from Da Vinci. You know as much as everyone he references, but just the whole thing of everyone on the creative process, and you won't believe. This is actually, guys, heads up, next week I'm going to go over all the interviews I did and kind of just look at all the similarities that everyone who is a creative that I've interviewed has with each other, and like how they drive and push themselves in their own personal life. You won't believe how much they're all similar, but as well all very own different in their own way. They all do it in their own way, and it's crazy to me just like how people can be so similar but yet have so many different worlds or so many different sides of life. And I think it's an energy, and it just shows so much of resemblance in the world. I know I only got you till 7. Are you good for a few more questions?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Now, we talked a little bit about the Insta and the YouTube content there. I think I already touched on those. Started acting. I already touched on. Oh, sorry, I don't think I did. When or where was it that really made you start going into acting? I think we talked about comedy.
Yeah. I mean, I've always I had a theater background. Like,
yeah.
So but like when I started getting into film,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
taking it more serious career-wise.
Yeah. Yes. I was doing stand-up in Toronto, like my first year in Toronto, and an agent was sitting there right in the crowd, and from there he's like, I really think like you have a look and a style. It's exactly what our roster is missing. And then from there he signed me, and then that agency got absorbed to a bigger agency, and I spent years working with them, booking commercials and TV work, and then I went to another agency, and I'm, just keep going. But literally, an acting agent saw me do stand up. It so happened to be at the comedy venue that night and signed me. So that's another thing cool too, like about moving to a place with more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why going to New York, it's so crazy, but literally there's more opportunity there. So yeah, it's more money. Everything's going to be more expensive. Like those are my fears when I was moving to Toronto from Pickering. But literally, there was acting agents at a comedy show. Ajax didn't even have a fucking comedy show, let alone an acting agent. So like, it was worth it, and it ended up paying the bills. So what was there to be afraid of?
The one thing, so like this is what I was speaking on as well, is like when it comes down to speaking to each creative, they each kind of have their own points that actually all. I've been realizing the more people the more creatives I interview, that all really can relate, and really everyone's touching on in their own words. So the one thing we haven't really spoken on it, but I was interviewing Robbie G. If you have time, you like hip hop, check him out. He's a good hip Canadian artist. He's done work with. This is actually segmenting into what I want to talk on next. Is for like personally just my defining moment. You're reminding me of just an artist. Of when I decided, I was kind of on that fence of like, do I really want to do this as music wise? But speaking with Robbie G, he has to do with that moment actually. When I was interviewing him, we were just talking about just past work and really advice you give to younger or people who are in our position or below our position, as a less established person in the industry. And he was really just speaking on just really, his advice, was look at everything of what you do and really put value on it. So everything you do today is going to affect tomorrow. It's going to affect next year. It's going to affect 3 days from now. And now, so why I wanted to touch on this is because when you were speaking about Blood and Fury, you said you weren't at your 100% because you were, you were performing every night. You were, so you were putting in work every night. And then as well, now that, for the first acting one, that actor that was just, not the acting, the agent that was just happened to be in the crowd. Now, what a lot of people don't get is, yes, obviously that is just like a once in a chance opportunity, but having the management or the agent in the crowd who saw your amazing talent and wanted to put you on right away, and then everything happening where it got absorbed. But the work you put in previously to it, that's what got you to that spot, and got you the talent. Yeah. Was that before or after the comedian? I'm bad with names, but he told you take the hit and just learn. Was that before or after that?
Oh, that was way before.
Way before even. Okay. So I was even gonna say, yeah. I didn't know the timeline there, but so but the work you put in previously got you to that where you are now, and there are those times where you take the L because you weren't 100%, but that's how kind of life is when it comes down to it, and when you're really trying to chase things, is sometimes you have to learn and take that L, but now you know better for next time, and it's gonna happen when you're especially when you're out for yourself, when you're not out for yourself in a sense where you're selfish, but out working for yourself, trying to chase your passion.
For sure.
Now with Robbie G, we spoke on you as a comedian. Not a lot of people. I always, when I'm interviewing people, I always kind of take a second to really talk about just my journey as well as an artist and business person. But when you spoke on when I asked you about the defining moment, I always like to ask creatives that because I will never forget it. The moment. Are you familiar with Obi Trice?
Yeah.
Oh, my man, my thank you. Not everybody is. Okay, so Robbie G, I just moved from Brantford. People who are watching actually know it from. I just moved from Brantford, man. I was on like the ropes of everything. Like I went through living at a hotel to living in my car to finding a place. Like I was just going through it, and all throughout this, I was finding the time and finding I don't know how the money to be able. I was working 2 jobs while I didn't have a place. It was just what I mean. The person I wasn't on lease, they sold the property. Blah 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 blah. It's how shit happens when you're in college, as I'm sure you know. And so I'm putting out this music, and it's not the best. It's not even like properly recorded, properly mastered. And then this one guy I know who I put on an event hits me up, and he says, "Hey, Obi Trice is coming to St. Catharines for the Cheers concert. I know the guy organizing the show. Do you possibly want the opportunity?" And I don't really know how comedian shows work when you get kind of like a bigger show or a showcase like that. But so for hip hop artists or bands, usually you have to sell a certain amount of tickets and you make money off the tickets. And if you don't sell the tickets, you pay out of pocket. That's just how it is. And so I was like, hell yeah, I'll pay right now. I took the tickets on. And I got the opportunity to open for Obi Trice. And that was one of the, but prior to that, I probably only did local shows, here, there, maybe one, like a town show in Brantford. And I bombed hard. Like, I'm talking, like, I forgot my lyrics. Like, I remember the first show I ever threw in Niagara, like, I was trying, like, I didn't know how to perform. Like, I threw my music on my phone, and I'm trying to, like, time it with my DJ for the beat he's playing. Yeah. Like, it was, like, it's so bad. To this day, like, even, like, when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, my God, man. Like, wow, it was so bad. But, so, I, like, spent, like, weeks, like, every day I'd get to this spot I had, and I just rehearsed it, all 5 tracks, 5 times, if not more, and, like, just go. And then I was so nervous. I think I killed, like, a 6-pack from the bar. And, like, I'm not drunk yet, but I'm buzzed, and I get on stage, and, like, it just hit me, like, it was, like, for a second to 2 seconds, it was slow-mo, and then it just, I don't know if it was because I was drunk, but it just hit me. I'm like, I got this. I killed my set, and, like, as I'm walking off stage, and, like, people are, like, yo, give me props, being like, good job, like, I was like, this is, like, I'm an entertainer, this is what I love, this is what I'm gonna do, this music, like, I did comedy at a church camp when I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was really offensive. They didn't really like me, so I kind of steered away from comedy after that. But you shouldn't do comedy at a church camp either, just so you know.
Right? You know what I mean? Yeah.
My friend. Now let's actually get on to what you have coming up for the future. Are you looking at any shows yet? What's up? So I know everything's opening back up. I don't know about Toronto. Niagara's opening back up.
Toronto, a little bit slower. I'm producing a show every Tuesday. I produce a secret show in Toronto. We just sold out last night's show. That was cool. I got some gigs with Yuks coming in, which is going to be fun. In the meantime, I'm trying to book some shit in Ireland. I can work every single country in Europe now, and I have some homies that are helping me get some gigs in Europe. So, gonna start nailing those down for the New Year's. Other than that, my main goal is to get down to Texas.
Texas? How come Texas, Austin, if I can ask?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Austin is blowing up right now for comedy, so that's my main goal is that, yeah.
Okay. Now, I haven't really spoken to our man Wickens who brought you down before, but is there any talks yet of possibly making it down to Niagara? Or am I allowed to know?
I'll go tomorrow, maybe not today, but I'll go whenever they have a show. Like, I usually know when every show.
Sure, I haven't even spoken to him about shows in the future yet, because I don't even know when we're allowed to do live sets down in Niagara right now.
Yeah.
Our like I was telling you before, our patio is just opening up, and then as soon as we're allowed to do, even with our patio, as soon as we're allowed to do live shows, we want to do comedy again. So it's just whenever we have it set up, we would love to have
whenever
you
it's
down
open,
as well.
I'm there for sure. Like, I got a whole bunch of and even my material now I'm noticing isn't even really offensive anymore.
Can we get a sneak peek? Got like 1 or 2?
Yeah, I have this new bit.
1 or 2. You don't have to. You don't have to spoil me with it, but maybe 1.
No, for sure.
yeah, I have this new because I started personal training too to make some extra cash.
You were saying your clients. You were saying before your clients. I was about to ask, but I didn't want to get into it. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, so I have a handful of clients. Just sort of. So anyway, I had this guy come in for the first time. I've never met him before ever, and he said the N-word in front of me the first day I met him.
Like, wait, and
like,
he's not black, obviously, the way you're saying it.
White guy, yeah. Like if you're gonna be racist, feel the other guy out. You know what I mean? This guy did.
Know if the other guy's racist or not.
This guy just said the N-word with a hard ER. I was like, what? He didn't even say anything like, not enough whites around here, right? Like, is he like me? Is he like me? He just literally said the N-word with a hard ER. And I'm just like, I'm sitting in the back of my head, like, this guy just paid me $400 for the month. But he's like, I'm like, ha 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 ha. And immediately I start playing Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, just showcasing black artists. I'm like, yeah, these guys are great, man. You really got to get into them. And he's like, you should put on some fucking Tool. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll play Tool for now. It's like, I'm trying to teach this guy. There's nothing attractive about being super white. Like, go to a fucking nightclub and be like, you guys play the Tragically Hip? Like, you're not going to get any pussy. Don't tell them what the poets are doing. No, this guy's getting nothing. So, literally, the next day he comes in, I'm spotting him on bench. So, have you ever, getting spotted on bench? The trainer, is grabbing your elbows.
Yeah.
And he's helping you lift. So, on, 6 or 7 reps, I'm like, 6, 7. He goes, the Holocaust never happened. I'm like, 8, 9. And it's just and I had to have a moment there where I have to stop training this guy because you never want to make a racist strong. You know what I'm talking about? You never want to, because this guy's going to post a shirtless selfie, absolutely jacked, and he's going to be like, today is the day I kill all the Jews. Thank you, Kyle Lucey.
And tag you on Facebook, too.
You know what I mean? My career's over. He's going to be like, I showed you techniques to all of my Aryan brothers. And I'm going to be there with no stand-up career. So that's the material I'm doing now. It's more like the funny side. It's still funny, right? But I'm not searching. Great. You know what I mean? I
couldn't even tell you were getting into it, actually, at first. I thought you just started telling me a story about you training, and I was like, oh, shit, hey, this is it. Oh, shit, he's actually going in.
I still have, I have some jokes that are still really savage. I have this one where, because I've been so abused in my life, right? I have this bit where I say my mom was a drunk that only ever wore a towel. So I've seen her vagina more times than any of my girlfriends. You ever go for a shower and you wrap a towel around yourself and you give it that one little tuck? You go to answer the phone, you take one step and that towel just flies off. Imagine doing one little tuck and then 4 drunken somersaults down the stairs. That towel just flies right off of you.
It's like a kite,
My mom, every time she fell down the stairs, her towel would fly off. She'd turn into a scary lottery machine. It'd go screaming face, tits, pussy. Ring, ring, ring.
That's...
And then at the end, me and my sister would make bets. At the end, her pussy just shows to her face, and I give my sister $20. I'm like, damn, I had it all on tits. You know what I mean? But I talk about...
Okay.
I talk about, how I'm so abused growing up. I'm so abused that... my mom tried to fuck me twice. I don't know if I told you that. My mom tried to have sex with me 2 times. She would, come into my room, and she drank so much Bacardi that she'd be like, and the Bacardi would just wake me up. And I'd be like, hey, Mom. And she'd be like, I need you to stay with me tonight so I don't kill myself. She smokes so much, she sounds like Patty and Selma put together, you know? And so, literally,
fuck.
I've been so abused, I'm afraid to have a child, right? Because what happens if I abuse my child, like my parents abused me? Pretty much what I'm trying to say is, if I have a child, I hope it has Down syndrome. Because how can you break what is already broken? Do you know what I'm talking about? Who cares? Who cares if I molest my retarded son? Who cares if I molest my retarded son? I'll put his wheelchair in the corner till he stops screaming. Who cares? I won't even fucking teach it English.
Oh my god, bro, that
Every
just
time
went
he
from
makes
like.
noises, I'll hose him down with cold water. And then I go, how do you want to know what's the hardest part about mouth fucking a brain dead idiot? Is picking all the animal crackers off its chin first.
You're right, savage. Oh my god, bro.
But that's if you like it with the crust cut off.
The first one went
You
from
know?
like outrageously like, oh damn, this is kind of getting funny, and then it went to like right up at, and then like you were building it to like how you started it to like. Did I ever tell you? I told you before. My mom molested me. No, like how you like built that rapport there. That was crazy. The crust cut off. Shit, bro. Sorry, I got another question in chat. I'm just dying still from that toke, and I'm trying not to laugh. Sorry, Barbarian asked, do you pick and choose? Oh, I feel like I know the answer, but do you pick and choose what places you say what jokes? How do you deal with how sensitive and snowflakey the world has and is becoming?
Honestly, I'm at a point now where the only frequency I care about is funny. It doesn't necessarily matter about the content. I don't book myself onto places that have white tablecloths and are using napkins just in the corners of their mouth. I do places that use their sleeve as a napkin. Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do corporate comedy here. That being said, you'll still walk into a place that's sort of woke. And I'm a complicated person. So I've literally had beer with the Hells Angels, and I've had beer with transsexuals at the Gay Pride Parade. Like, I've had a beer with a member of the Bloods. I've had a beer with a pastor. I've been around a lot of circles, and as to what I could sort of surmise is that we're human. We are life. We are energy manifesting body. Life's experiencing itself. And with the conversation, I think I've had beers with racist black people that hate white people and racist white people that hate black people. Basically, it all comes down to we all want to be loved. We all are afraid. We all are afraid of dying. People have more in common than we don't, right? We focus on the difference. But if I see a group of people that's of a certain cadence, I'm not going to pander to them. I want to make sure that I challenge them. But I'm there to make them laugh. I'm not their fucking clown puppet. All of my shit is usually... I'll always be defined as like a guy who pushes the envelope. But I'm not gonna like, if people are, so I did this gig where like you went in and it was just like girls drinking wine. Right?
Oh,
and so,
you must have had fun. Whoo.
I made fun of them. I'm like, you guys obviously are gonna judge me because I don't give a fuck about the French reunion, and it shows. And they're all like, oh my god, we do that! And it was just sort of making fun of them, and we had fun, so thank God I'm 10 years into improv that no matter what audience I'm in, I could sort of be really funny with them because I'm good at just trading it. That being said, the super woke hate white straight men that are confident. They want white straight men to be weak, wearing dark frame glasses and saying, yes, dear. So anytime they see a white straight man with confidence, it triggers them. So that there's certain crowds where they just hate my kind,
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna happen. And the same thing happens with a black guy when he plays the deep south. The same thing happens to a female comedian, when they play a bachelor party of a bunch of drunk guys. Take your shit up. We're not a brown guy a black guy walking into a convenience store. A lot of black friends I've had growing up, the convenience store, if they wear a backpack, I've had black friends be told, leave your backpack outside. You're not allowed to bring it because they're afraid.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
They're faced with race. So that's my thing. What's my thing is that certain lesbians have been traumatized by men. They've been raped. And they see a strong white man with confidence on stage making fun of women. They're not going to have it. And so that's just going to be the reality of the situation. And do I project my insecurity back onto them? No. I don't necessarily hold their anger, but I just sort of have a non-reaction when it comes to that. Because if I offend somebody, yesterday I offended somebody. And he was sort of just mouthing off to me at the end of the show. And I just sat there and I listened to him. A lot of these people just want to be listened to, ultimately. And, I was just like, yeah, man, I mean, that's definitely how you felt it. And I feel like there's a lot of feeling there. And literally, that's all I said to him. And he's like, well, yeah, there is. I'm like, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And it's good that you're expressing yourself. And literally, because the fact that I have the right to talk means that they have the right to talk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. So if someone doesn't like it, that being said, there's people that literally come up to me and be like, you're white! You can't say that because you're fucking white! And it's like, I've lived in places with guns. My dad lived in a fucking van. I slept outside. You have a coach bag saying that I'm privileged. Shut your fucking mouth. I'm not saying that white privilege doesn't exist. We get preferential treatment with, certainly with police. But not every white guy... Yeah, not every white guy is born on a yacht.
One thing, actually, what we're touching on that, I'm in my freaking building the other day, and I apologize to interrupt. I'm walking my dog. I go to my elevator, and I go in, and I just see this kid, this white blonde kid, curly hair, and he's carrying something. I didn't look at first. I always keep my head down because I don't look at people. Where I grew up, you keep your head down and you just hope for the best. You watch your back. That's it. But I walk in this elevator and this kid's carrying literally 8 half pea bags of weed. It's no backpack, there's no nothing, just holding it like this. There's cameras all over my building. And I'm looking at it and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't say anything. I'm like, and he said, oh, you need weed? I'm like, nah, man, that looks like some bushy shit. It looks like he grew it himself. But so, end story. He tried to sell me stuff. I said no, I'm just walking my dog, blah, 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 blah. But when I'm getting about halfway through walking my dog, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I grew up with Hispanics, Somalians, Haitians, Jamaicans, natives. I can't tell you how many people or residents I know that if they did that on camera would have been raided by now. It's like there's a complete thing as such of what the fucking thing is it wasn't just us on the elevator. There was 2 more elderly people that hopped on the elevator. We stopped at another floor. 4 other people were gonna hop on the elevator. Said no because it's a limit. And this kid's just sitting here with freaking 5 pounds of weed in his hand, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. Especially there's a few things I did learn in criminology, but yeah, white people engage in drug-related crimes way more than black people, but black people are incarcerated for those crimes at an exponential rate compared to the white people. And there's this criminological theory that says, I forget who did it, I think it might be Bentham, I'm probably wrong, but it's if you place enough scrutiny on any group of people, if you place enough scrutiny on any group of people, criminal behavior is going to be found, because nobody's perfect. And what I'm sort of saying is, in show business, right, there's a lot of scrutiny on straight white men. So you're bound to find criminal behavior. Now, that's a privilege within its own. I'm being discriminated in show business. That's not getting a gun to your head, like a black guy just driving to Home Depot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You might not land a gig, but nobody's systematically killing you. So that's a white privilege thing to say. So the woke culture hating the straight white men exists, but a lot of people hear that and they think that we're putting it on the same playing field as the institutionalized racism of black people. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that, hey, this is also happening. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's number 4 priority, but to say that it doesn't exist
is also just not true.
What was there was one other thing. Oh, sorry, my boy Barry and I. We were saying before just about.
I've got about 5. I hope it's okay. I have about 5 minutes left before I do have to go.
No worries. I was just gonna say. Actually, I got one more. I gotta clean up. I don't know. Oh yeah, you guys can't see anything. Everything's everywhere right now. I'm cleaning my apartment. But I was just gonna say that as well with picking places. It really kind of has to go with like feeling the crowd. Essentially, like he was saying, like you feel your audience. You know what I mean? When you get there, it's. I was going to relate it as well, like to say it's not even closely to the amount of it, but servers, you know what I mean? When you're going to a table, the good servers are able to read how they approach it. If you approach a table full of 4 college girls, all right, ladies, let's get some shots. You approach a table of elderly people, what kind of tea would you guys like today? Sort of like to that, but like even more on a more immense, tremendous level.
Yes and no. You don't want to pander.
True.
If you walked into a museum, and instead of seeing beautiful art, there was just blank canvases and people with paintbrushes, like whatever you want, we'll do it. Anything you want me to paint, I'll fucking paint it for you. You're gonna say this place is crazy. That's sort of what like changing your voice to the crowd is. People don't even want that. People want to see a voice. People want originality. They want to see something they've never seen before. They want to be wowed. So the mission for an artist is to get to that warm, gooey center that's in them and to get to their most authentic and original self the quickest. How do you do that? Work your ass off. Outwork everybody. You know what I mean? Get to that. Be honest with yourself and get to that. But yeah, like when you are that, you're going to be so incredible that you can just play every room. Or you'll have enough of a following where you'll sell out theaters. But if Louis C.K., if Dave Chappelle, if Bill Burr, if any of these greats walked into a woke crowd, walked into a late night comedy club, they're going to murder because they're the most authentic self and they've done the repetitions. They're the best. So become the best. Become, like, always have that mentality. Because if you're always changing yourself, you never discover who you are. And then you never grow. You just become this pandering. You become like what my homie would call a Chuck E. Cheese comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, put in one token for a joke. You're American. The comedians on America's Got Talent. You know what I mean? Always fucking. There's a few guys that are. I know a select few group of clean killers that have done that show and that are awesome. But for the most part, it's like, hey, I'm a mechanic and I want to do stand-up. What do you get? And Simon Cowell's like, that was actually amazing. What the fuck does he know about comedy? He's a fucking music guy. But
and
yeah,
I know you gotta go. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an outro here. We got like a little bit. I think we got 1 or 2 minutes left. We'll make it quick and sweet, guys. Kyle Lucey, make sure you check him out as KYLELUCEY on all his pages. Kyle Lucey Instagram, Kyle Lucey Comedy for Instagram, Kyle Lucey for Facebook, personal, and your page is just Kyle Lucey, correct? Just on Facebook, YouTube.
Usually, my Facebook one is Renegade Comedy. That's the main page I use on Facebook.
My
Renegade
bad.
Comedy.
I've been taking the other one.
No, it's all good, buddy.
All right, sorry. Renegade Comedy. Check that that out as well. And your YouTube page. How do they find that?
Yeah, that again is just Kyle Lucey Comedy, Lucey. My podcast, The Kyle Lucey Show, is also all over YouTube. Type in Kyle Lucey on YouTube, you'll see.
Bless. I'm gonna send some highlights as well too for you, so in case you want anything to use for your channels as well, marketing wise and whatnot. But other than that, thank you very much for joining us today. I feel like it was some very golden content and fucking killed me, bro, with those jokes. That's snooze. I'm telling you, my boy's gonna use that for a pickup line one time. I'm telling you.
I'm happy.
We gotta bring you back.
Spread the good word.
We gotta bring you back sometime, maybe in a month or two. Touch back, see what else we got going on. Even maybe make something else happen. See if we can bring you down to luck soon. Okay.
Yeah, man, I'd love to come down and do some live comedy. I remember that gig, and it was fucking really fun, man. So,
and that's when we had restrictions, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like we had a couple tables. It wasn't like crazy packed, but by the time we can have people inside, no restrictions, it'll be a lot better. I know it.
But I can't wait, and I'm there.
All right, bro. Be safe. Give my best to Ezra too. Next time you see him as well.
You got it, brother.
All right, be safe, bro.
Later, homie. Peace out.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
Alright guys, one sec. I fix. I'm gonna end it off with a couple big announcements here, so please wait up 1 second. I think you guys can still hear me. If not, whatever. But I think you can still hear me. There we go. 3, 2. There we go. Can you guys see me? There you go. You guys hear me? 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Shut up, this guy. Can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Let's check it. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Let's check it. Yeah, you guys can hear me, fuckers. Yeah. All right. So yes, blessed for Kyle coming in, bro. Man, if anybody didn't, I'm gonna highlight some of the jokes he did. Man, he gave us a little sneak peek too of some of the new material he's been working on. Man, that was funny. That trader joke was funny. Yes. So a couple announcements here. We're going to be doing a giveaway for subscribers. That's including subscribers who have already subscribed and people who will subscribe. So that will be coming out. Make sure you follow the Facebook page to find out more about that. But man, that dude's just a dope guy. I was actually just so freaking just dumbfounded with, like, I thought it was just going to be a great conversation as two creatives who were going to shoot the shit and laugh, but with how, like, deep and profound that guy went into, and like how spiritual that gentleman is, I had no idea when I first met him too as well, and very knowledgeable, very intellectual, a lot more than I really even expected, to be honest. Not that I thought he wasn't, in a sense, just it was a lot more than I was expecting, and it's a good thing. Now, depending who's in chat, I did get the master version of I'll Be Okay back. It's a new track that's going to be coming out April 26th. And you know how I do it. I always show love to the people who show love on my stream. So if you guys want to hear a quick snippet of the brand new master of I'll Be Okay, it sounds so much better, let me know. I am going to run and take a picture real quick, get a refill, hop in chat, throw up an emoji, something. Let me know if you guys want to hear the master version of I'll Be Okay. It'll only be a quick little snippet, I'm telling you. You'll hear the difference from the one stream I played, the unmastered, to this. I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw on the playlist. I'll be back. 2 second refill, take a piss. I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
So I'm gripping with my right hand. They wanna ignite the fire fan, then it stirs fired up like a dragon up by pop planet and bricks it. That's a strike like lightning from Raiden. Kerosene and gasoline mixed in a motherfucking fry pan like woo. They thought they knew me. Well, I ain't never stayed the same. Always riding in this game. I was just trying to stay sane. Life is like a movie. Every minute that I'm in it, I'm trying to escape. I save the day, dodge a car, fight the hate, walk the talk, shed the pain, shed another tear to another one lost. So let the next one be me and another one gone. Come shut them down, can't stay calm. Please Lord, don't let the next one
what up,
be
Stitch?
me.
Yeah, my life is a movie, but I'm not an actor. I am the factor. I am the eye of the storm, Leviathan riding the skyline in time for the rapture. I am a burden. People still waiting on a sermon. Jesus, who you call when they closing the curtain? Watch as I'm roasting these vermin. Preach it. Think the angel of death might take me. Got me praying to God that it ain't me. Lost cause, ain't nobody that can save me. Tell the industry she about to have my baby. Cause I'm fucking the game up. What? And everybody think I changed up? No, wasn't with me when I came up. Duh. I'm aiming at him with a laser scope. Venomous, why try deading it? Tie-dye killer with a high life etiquette. Try to make a documentary about me. It's like a comedy that's got a sci-fi element. Wise guy, limelight, I might enter it. Blood spray, I bite, twilight medicine. I can see your eye right, but you were getting the message the second that I try sending it. Damn, think the beard did it? Van Gogh headshot, take the ear with it. I am original, locally God. I'm looking at y'all and it's like a mirror image. Life is a movie. Life is a movie. Play the part that you given. Instead of everybody trying to be me, to the point they forgetting who did it. Damn.
On God and on my mama. All the drama llama fucking with the karma. Don't be fucking with my karmas, all that karma get you left up in the trauma. My entourage that could tear to the shell, make for good armor. What a Johnny drama. Furthermore, your honor, I've been trying to touch base and take notes, but fake friends go float. Kick rock, strap up, and sink hole. Now get low. A drip sauce got me so wet, you think it was sweat on my clothes. The ice got me so cold, straight up froze. Now Mr. Freeze hitting up Gotham with that snow. Now get blown, petty and ridiculous, bitch. Call me 50 Cent, I'm magnificent. I can smell the pussy in the room. Should I elaborate on this elephant? I speak slick and cheap tricks, thinking they can make a quick fix. Off St. Kitts, the weak shit he admits it's like bunny shit. It comes with tiny balls in the mix. And I'm magnificent. Magnificent. I'm magnificent.
I'm magnificent.
Magnificent. I'm magnificent. I'm magnificent. Magnificent. I'm magnificent.
I'm magnificent.
Magnificent. I'm magnificent.
I'll have you picking up the pieces of the puzzle, leave you puzzled. They gon' have to muzzle me from letting off these words you wanna tussle. I ain't keeping weapons tucked because my bars are the bullets that I'm letting off. Hitting like them strays in Call of Duty, I'm the kid that's always pressing buttons, dog. You haven't been around since the start, how you supposed to finish? You gotta learn from the greats and be greater, that's why I'm in it. I'm magnificent, the way I break apart the words and bet them till they get
a human meteorite, crashing your ceiling tonight. If I ain't in your rotation, make sure you're meteorite. Beatbox is reaching the lights, y'all reaching medium heights. I drop a song and you copying that as a media bites. Motherfucker, I done told you every verse is euphoria. We ain't the same level, you should suck on the tutorial. Young Styles with the switch, nigga BD packs. Hell, we out of this bitch, I'm out.
And I'm magnificent. Magnificent. I'm magnificent.
I'm magnificent.
Magnificent. I'm magnificent. I'm magnificent. Magnificent. I'm magnificent.
I'm magnificent.
Magnificent. I'm magnificent. I'm magnificent.
Yes on me, yes on me. Anything you wanna get, yes on me, yes on me, yes on me. Bring more bottles to the table, yes on me, yes on me. I get what you like if you want it. Our life, I rock and you rollin'. Yes on me, bring more bottles to the table, yes on me. Tell the waiter bring more, yeah, we running out. No squares at the table, let's get another round. Quality product, let's have the word get around. The cream rises to the top, settle down. Tell me what you want. Don't stop and wonder, you don't have to worry what it costs. I got it covered, time is money. You know I ain't lending mine. Your company is priceless, we don't gotta spend a dime. I'm in it from the start until the finish line. You know I got the bill when it's dinner time. Get you a coat to stop the chill when it's winter time. It's on me, just tell me what's on your mind. Set the mood right, such a beautiful night, yeah. And we can do what you like. I get you what you want, you get me and you want me. Go to the beach and we get it on under the palm trees. Yes on me, yes on me. Anything you wanna get, yes on me, yes on me, yes on me. Bring more bottles to the table, yes on me, yes on me. I get what you like if you want it. Our life, I rock and you rollin'. Yes on me, bring more bottles to the table, yes on me. Bring more bottles bottles to the table, we don't got enough. If money talks, sometimes I think I talk too much. I'm just here to make sure you get it all. I know you work for your own, but if I can make it rain, I let it fall. And shower you with gifts, this the way that I'm on. It's on me, whatever you say that you want. Step in the stove, point your finger.
Every day it's like I'm on my grind, motivated mostly by the money on my mind. All this time I've been working for success, but I guess it's a sign I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe that, or I'm coming for it full blast. Where's the champagne? Better pour me up a full glass, cause we celebrating for the future in the making, and we gon' make it. Whether or not we gotta take it, then we'll break it up together, cause
I'm on my grind all of the time. I'm on my grind all of the time.
we on the grind, we on the grind,
all of the time.
we on the grind, we on the grind, we on the grind,
all of the time.
Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. We on the grind, we on the grind. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Every day it's like I'm on my grind. Wanna kick it with my girl, but I ain't got the time. If you wanna survive, you gotta swallow your pride. Treat your life like Facebook and put it all on the line. We all trying just to break through, but we hate on a brother when they have the potential of what it takes to. That's why with everyone I know I try to stay true and never let the bullshit in between us like the face tune.
Cash persuades you,
And once you get enough, it's probably gonna change you. I hustled for a decade, and dude, I done shit for money that I'm damn well ashamed to admit. Sold shit to people that got hooked. Anything from last times to innocence I've took. It's like money made us care less for others, but we justified it by sharing with each other. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. When you doing good, ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. So I'ma keep it moving like I should, and show these fuckers who I am. We on the grind, yo. We on the grind, yo. We on the grind, yo.
all of the time.
We on the grind, we on the grind, we on the grind.
All of the time.
We on the grind, yo. We on the grind, yo. We on the grind, yo.
All of the time.
We on the grind, we on the grind. We on the grind.
All of the time.
Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. We on the grind, y'all. 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 We on the
Yeah. Let's go up, go up. Yeah.
Ready?
I ain't coming down. No. I ain't coming down. No. I ain't coming down. No. Higher. I've been on a run. Yeah. I just got started, I'm not done. Yeah. If you want it, I got some. Yeah. If you want it, I got some. Put some acid on my tongue. I just did it, now I'm done.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hop up in the backseat, yeah. I see you seeing me. I get just what you need, yeah. I know you need a piece. You've been down for too long. Get a few uppers, get in the zone. Then you're never gonna feel like you're low, yeah. I know. I ain't coming down. No. I ain't coming down. No. I ain't coming down. No. Higher in the sky. If you ask me to stop, all you hear me say is no. I get so high that I'm never feeling low. I'm not coming down, no, never, no. I get so high, I will never get low. Yo, you know that I got the flow, yeah. You know that I got it in the pocket, I ain't gonna stop, and I know, yeah, gotta get what I'm owed, yeah, shining, I got it like gold, yeah, they wanna know what I know, yeah, high with all that I grow when it goes in the middle when I get them in the show, you know, yeah, I ain't coming down, no, no, I ain't coming down, no, no, I ain't coming down, no, no, higher in the sky, I said I'm high up in the sky.
Okay.
You ask me, I don't.
Stop yelling at me. I got you, bro. You guys ready? Oh, here. Put a little bit of this too. So you can see my ugly mug while I display you this new track. Produced by New You Music in Brantford, Ontario. If you guys haven't heard of the studio yet, make sure you go check them out. How's my sound? I heard of this. Oh, we're good. I always watch my stream to check my sound in case it's too whack. But I'm watching it for my channel, guys. I promise. What a hack. I don't know. I just thought of that. Like, motherfuckers probably just creating shit. No. Go away. I don't want to download it on this computer. No. I want to... Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. You guys ready? Hit up with those emojis. You guys ready for this shit? Like, I don't know, man. This is unreleased. It's not going to be released yet. We're going to hear a little bit. This is just mastered. I previewed it a little bit before. But, alright. I see them emojis. Let's go. So much smoother now. So much smoother.
I think I'll be okay. Like seasons, people change. I hope I'll be okay. I just can't seem to stay. Cause I don't know if I'm okay. I think I'm starting to like the pain. Demons, they're stuck inside my brain. But I hope I'll be okay. No, I don't want you to ask again. I just wanna know if we can still be friends. Everything we've been through till the end. I just wanna know if we can still love you. But I hope I'll be okay. I think about you every day. I gave you nothing left to say. I just got lost inside my ways. I think I'll be okay. Like
My bad, I just turned the volume down. I just realized that.
change. I hope I'll be okay. I just can't seem to.
That's it. My bad, guys, for the volume there. I had to fix that for a minute. I hope it wasn't so bad. I started listening and I was like, oh shit, that sounds horrible. I had to adjust it. Like I said, I'm still working it out. Sorry. But I do promise it is really sick and it's very smooth and very dope. Coming out April. I kept saying April 28th. June 28th. It'll be out. The lyrical video dropping most likely later this week. Or, sorry, the trailer for the lyrical video will be dropping out later this week. If someone wants to let me know how the sound was there on their end, that'd be really nice. Yes. All right. Here, I'm gonna fix this, guys. Watch. I'm gonna cut my mic and my desktop audio. Sorry, I'm gonna cut my mic. No. It was playing through my laptop and picking up on my mic. Yeah. So I'm gonna replay it. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, because this has really helped me out for previewing music later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my mic so you don't get doubles. Watch. At least I think you won't get doubles. Watch. Or listen, I guess.
Okay, like seasons, people change. I hope I'll be okay. I just can't seem to stay, cause I don't know if I'm okay. I think I'm starting to like the pain. Demons, they're stuck inside my brain, but I hope I'll be okay. No, I don't want you to ask again. I just wanna know if we can still be friends. Everything we've been through till the end. I know I still love you, I won't pretend, but I hope I'll be okay. I think about you every day. I gave you nothing left to save. I just got lost inside my ways. I think I'll be okay. Like seasons, people change. I hope I'll be okay. I just can't seem to stay, cause I don't know if I'm okay. I think I'm starting to like the pain. Demons, they're stuck inside my brain, but I hope I'll be okay. I'm chasing different highs, trying to survive just to see if I'm still alive.
So yeah, a little bit played into the second verse there. You weren't supposed to hear that part, guys. But
So yeah, a little bit played into the second verse there.
perfect. See, I was still tripping, even though I was listening on my other screen. I was still listening on my other screen, watching myself on my stream. I just want to make sure you guys got that though. Yeah. That's that new track that's gonna be coming out. It's a totally different genre. Trust me, I still got more fire coming out, as well as a feature with the one and only Robbie G as well coming out. Announcement on that date won't be for a little bit. I still gotta work out some things. I always like to give you guys a background version of it, and let you guys know first and what to keep you guys out for. Hey, Execute, are you hopping on Fort tonight? Cause we caught that dub. I still gotta highlight that shit on my PS5 or on my stream. I'm probably gonna do that after. It's been a crazy day, bro. But me and this guy, he got me to hop on Fortnite. I think it was our second match. We caught a dub. We killed that shit. That was nice, bro. If you're on Fortnite tonight, again, I'll hop on. I'm probably gonna game on some Apex or something in a bit. I just gotta clean up. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna dip out for the night. Thank you very much for tuning in. This shit was crazy with Kyle Lucey. That was just so unexpected, man. It was just crazy. I got to spend so much time highlighting this whole interview because I was not even like, it's so mind blowing. The thing was, I was excited. I felt like I was more excited for other interviews. Here, let me fix this. I felt like I've been more excited for interviewing, say, Kelly Maloney or Robbie G. But honestly, like, after everything was said and done, like, I had a very good experience in that interview. It was nice. It was amazing. The content was amazing. That man alone surprised me in a lot of ways, just on his mind aspect. As a comedian, I'm thinking he's coming in here just gonna start cracking jokes, making a joke out of everything. But that man had a lot of intellect to share, and I hope whoever was listening on that part really took that in. If not, don't worry, I'm gonna highlight it. I got you covered. Barbarian Bless, thank you. Bat Rob, thank you. Oh, by the way, sorry, I didn't even get into the good part. I did tell you guys about how that was gonna be a giveaway for subs. So right now, because it's crunch time, and like this is like the build up of like the real core people who are really fucking with the brand and the channel, I am going to be giving away $100 to one of my subscribers, new subscribers or old subscriber, one subscriber, a new subscriber, or to my one and only subscriber right now. Give it a shout out to BGOX8Q, my boy Josh. Show him mad love there. $100 for a sub. Now, I think I'm going to be running it. What is it? See, I got my calendars right behind me. It's fucking. This is how every time I think about something, I'm like, what day is it? Today's the 9th. I'm going to run it till the 23rd. So 2 weeks exactly. $100 giveaway transferred right to your account for one random sub. Now, I'm only expecting 10 people to actually be down to sub and actually be down for it. I don't know, man. I wasn't going to put it too much on social media. I was really just going to spread it around, like, the people I know that support. And, you know what I mean, really give them a chance to win. And then maybe do a bigger one, like a $100 one after. I just want to give my chance to the people that are, like, the real ones that really supported from, like, this day one. You know what I mean? Like yourself. I don't want to flood on social media and get a bunch of subscribers that never really pay attention to my content and lessen your chance as a supporter of you winning it. Execute, you know what I mean? I'd rather get 15 supporters that actually tune in like you gentlemen are right now, or everybody is right now, and give them the opportunity to win that $100. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, that's it. 23rd is going to be announced. So out of every 23rd, one subscriber will win $100. As soon as you subscribe, I got your info right there, so I'll message you as soon as I pick the winner. There is no criteria other than, hey, just come and chat in. Check out the content. Show some love, and let's build, guys. Let's build. Make sure you guys check out BGR Gaming. Let's shout it out. Blast Gaming org. Hey, yo, put some links in the chat for me, bro. Put some links in the chat for me right now. Anytime, guys, you guys looking for some more people to game with, a gaming org to actually network with, and as well, and build yourself on Twitch, and just honestly build with like-minded people. Make sure you look it up on Facebook, Blast Gaming org, guys. Check that out. Always looking for more people as well. They're always trying to go into tournaments, and it's not no crazy skill-based thing. Like, it's literally just people trying to have some fun and just do what we do probably every day in game. That's it. That's really it. And as well, oh man, I almost forgot. I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. They also do have a Beyond the Gloves podcast and show going down that is amazing and very insightful people, very insightful fans on the sport itself. And you know what I mean. It's a very good watch as well for content for any fight. They're covering boxing, they're covering UFC. Please put it up in chat and let them know in chat of what you guys are all covering. It's BGO and BatRob94 there. They got it. Now, last but not least, keep an eye out. Check out that Facebook for all the new releases. Anybody in Niagara, hey, Lux's Patio, June 18th, baby. June 18th, we are putting out. Now we have a couple more giveaways coming out for Lux that announced. I can't say nothing, even though I try to give everyone the behind the scenes. We have that planned for end of this weekend, and you guys will see. And other than that, so much in the works. But next week, I can't forget to shout out. Next week we have Tom Bland on live. I'm interviewing him. Now, Tom Bland is the creator of Bars. That's Bars B, period A, capital B, capital A, capital R, capital Z, period in between each letter, just like a, what's that word? Yeah, whatever that word is. The thingy that means other stuff. I don't know. But Bars Rap Battle League. He started in the States. They got a huge following. They're looking to make Lux the first and consistent venue for their battle league here for Canadians and be their first Canadian venue. We're happy to have them. Make sure you guys tune in for that and hit them up with everything on questions. Check out some of Tom Bland stuff as well as Bars Battle Rap, because man, they got some fire. They have some people. They had Young Stitch from Canada come represent. Young Stitch is representing for them in another battle. They're doing Battle League against Battle League, and I'm just really excited to work with Tom. Me and him hopped on the phone. We were chatting it up, and we just had so much really in common in a sense of goals, what we want to do with our brands, and I'm really excited to be able to get him on stream and kind of show you guys really what he's about. And Bat, I know you're gonna have questions, so please check out Bars Battle Rap and give him the tea, give him the beans, give him it all. Let him know why some people lacking. Let him know which ones are slacking. Let him know which ones are on point. You're that battle rap guy. Let him know. Get those questions geared and ready, bro. Get them geared, because we got them know. There's already people in this group trying to say they're going to pull up in North, like Optimus Prime trying to fuck up some some Decepticons. Like, man, they're trying to stun. They flexing already. So I'm excited to see what they trying to bring to Niagara, because there's some heaters here, man. There's some eaters here. I don't know. I see some videos. I'm gonna talk my shit. This is my platform. I see their platform. I ain't stepping in their area, but there's some people here in Canada that's some eaters. Whoo, there's some eaters, and I'm telling you, we're bringing this Battle League out to Canada, and they're already flexing. Like they're gonna stomp on Canada like it's nothing. I'm gonna send hey, Tom, I'm sending you this highlight too. I'm sending you this highlight, and I'm gonna let you know Canada's ready, baby. Canada's ready, primed, and there's some eaters out here that you don't even know about yet, and your squad don't even know about. But I'm excited for the war. Other than that, guys, like, I got a busy night ahead of me. My partner in crime's not even here tonight. My dog's at my mom's. I asked him if he wanted to visit grandma, and he just got so excited, so I dropped him off there. Yeah. Partner in crime's not here. I don't even know what to do. I feel so empty. I'm just eating jerky and caramel milk and drinking wine. Well, coolers. And I ran out of liquor. But June 18th, Tom Bland next week. Giveaway $100 for $100 giveaway to any amount of subscribers we go. I'm not going to put it on social media and be big about it, because I want to give it to my real supporters real quick. I'm only going to put it on social media to my page. I'm not going to put any marketing budget behind it or anything. So yeah, I really want to hand out, and as well, we might be doing a secondary prize for Aerostyles and ASI sweater giveaway. We'll let you know. I gotta confirm with the manager and whatnot. But hey, keep an eye out for BGO. Keep an eye out for next week. I will see you guys next week. Hey, I will be back on Monday as well, mixing it up, throwing some console on. I might even, I might surprise and just hop on with some Fortnite when me and BGO hop on later. See if we can catch a couple dubs on stream. Arrow out. Thank you very much. Very blessed day, everyone, for tuning in. Keep that positivity up, and everyone stay safe. Let's get over all this BS with COVID, and let's get back to normal. Get money. Let's build, and let's move. Barbarian, I swear to God, you start rapping, bro, that'll be the best ever, man. This man walk on stage with some, like, freaking Viking hair, and, like, you're expecting him to just start dropping Viking bars, but now this man just drops some straight lyrical knowledge on some people. That'd be blessed, Viking.